What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, I have my friend Mark. We're going to talk about this craziness with Lord of the Rings. And I remember the last time we got together, we talked about Riva,
Oh
Riva,
yes.
and all the craziness. And the funny thing was, the comment section was filled with people saying, "Oh, look at Jay. He found a black person maybe to help him out with this topic." And I'm like, "This is my friend. We've been friends for years. I hung out with him in New York. Like, what is wrong with people? It's like they just hate it. They hate it when we're right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
They hate it
yeah.
when we're right. He has been on my channel multiple times. I do a show with him every Wednesday. Been doing it for years. And if you don't know Mark with a C, please follow him on his own YouTube channel. Only if you like the hot takes. You know, if you want mild and calm, don't do it. That's all I'm
Yes.
saying. So his channel will be in the pinned comment of this video because here
And
we are.
bad
Here we
singing
are
too.
again. I mean, here we
If you
are
like,
again, my friend. A
yeah.
bad show has immersed.
Yeah,
Rings of
it's appeared on
Power.
the horizon.
And
Prophecies foretold of this. Oh my God, bro.
and guess what they're blaming for the bad reviews?
Who could guess? Anybody guessing what it could be? Where would they go with their defense of this garbage show? Where would you think they would go?
Racist.
Where you
Racism. It's
racist?
all about
Yes, yes.
racism, man. That's why they're getting
Yeah.
review bombed and nobody likes this nobody likes this show because, we don't like elves of color is what they say, which is such a unique term. I don't think I've ever said that in my life, nor have I ever
Yeah.
said dwarf of color. I don't think I've ever wanted to say that. I I don't even know like
The
where
funny
have we
thing is,
gone?
Jay, the people who are going along with this, who are dogpiling on the fandom and everything, yeah, you guys are racist and everything. What would you be getting offended for if you're not racist? Doesn't it occur to any of you who think this way that we're seeing this play over and over again? We just saw this a few months ago with the Kenobi show, like line for line. Doesn't this say, like, send up any red flags for anybody? Like, this is just what they're doing. This is part of their marketing. This is how they're protecting themselves. And I just think it's despicable that they're using something as serious as racism to water it down in defense of what they're putting out as show business.
That's the thing. It's like watering down to where people now will look at that word and laugh. You
Right.
know, it's just like it's just like, oh, you're gonna call me that. This is what I'm seeing in like the videos that you've made and that I've made on this topic. People are like, well, if they're calling me that, then I'm doing something right. It's like we shouldn't be living in a time where people feel if you're calling me a racist, I'm doing something right. Like that
Right.
that shouldn't even be a sentence typed in this ever. But yet here
Yeah.
we are because it's like, yeah, I'm criticizing this. This isn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't what it was marketed, and the show is boring beyond all measure. Now, I've done Rings of Power review, and all I keep saying is um the dwarves are the best part. Diza, she's the best part. But my God, man, the show is just it's not even like a slow burn. It's just
Yeah.
slow. And now
Yeah.
they started to do the Zack Snyder thing, my friend, and add slow motion to every character and every part to kind of like,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
stretch out the time. But I want I
Yeah.
want to play you something right off the top, man. I want to play something right off the top, and this is what because of all this crazy marketing that Amazon's doing, this is what people are saying. If you can't hear it, let me know.
Discourse about how the new Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power series doesn't exactly live up to the expectations and what Tolkien had in his mind. And I say good, because I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want the worldview of someone who was born in the late 1800s to be what dictates what I watch on TV in the year of our Lord 2022. When you do adaptations of people's worlds, that's what they are there for. Adaptations. You fill in the holes and racist bigotry that they had when they wrote the stuff in the 1950s. I mean, Tolkien was working on these books at a time when black people weren't allowed in the same establishment as white people in the United States because of segregation. And I don't want society to go back to then, and I sure as hell don't want our creative output to go back to the ideas of that time. I mean, hell, Tolkien taught at Oxford University, a place that is so blatantly racist that R.F. Kong had to write an entire book about it. Go check out Babel. So fuck what Tolkien would have wanted or what he thought of the Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth. It's ours now. We're making it. We're going to make it reflect real life, not his white power fantasy that he wrote about.
Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, that's my first time seeing that. Yeah. What the hell? What the hell?
White
Bro,
power fantasy.
if you feel that way about it, just leave the work alone then. But I can tell you, I grew up watching those adaptations. I can't say that I dove into the books and stuff, but I watched the old Rankin Bass cartoons. Of
Oh, I
course, I
love
watched the Peter
those.
Jackson. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the singing orcs and everything.
Yeah.
And all I got was inspired, you know, by the battle between good and evil, and a respect, a healthy respect for the mind that created all of that. You know, whatever prejudices or whatever the man might have had, we all have that. You know, we all have things that we have to process amongst ourselves and, you know, overcome or confront if we're good people and we want to do that. But the fact of the matter is, art stands for itself, it stands on its own. And the people who can interpret it and appreciate it, that's the point of it all. That everywhere we look around, that's what it is. You know, we appreciate creation, but you can't make and
It's ours
mold.
now. It's ours now.
Yeah,
We're gonna do it what we want. I'm like, if that's your attitude, just please create something. You
yeah,
know, like be the Tolkien in 2022 and create your own fantasy world and all that stuff. And if you just want to like put those books in the classic bin section, you know, with all the other old works that are out there, like Dracula, you know, and like all these other like, then just set it over there and people could read it when they want. But it's like the fact that this attitude of, and I believe Amazon has the same attitude as this person that we watched, was just like, it's ours now. And
yeah.
it's going to reflect, you know, today's society and today's value. And it's like, if that's the case for me, I'm just like, why can't we just make something new? Like, what
Right.
is this hijacking of like stuff and saying, it's ours? Sorry, can't have like
And
what you
who
wanted
are
anymore.
they when they say that it's ours now? Are have they reached their final form in humanity? Like, are they now, have they reached perfection as human beings? Like, they have risen above the tendency to be to prejudge people and everything? No, that makes you a hypocrite. Every last human being that is born struggles with these things. None
Yeah.
of us are free from it. You know, so when I hear people say things like, huh, I'm colorblind, I don't see color, I'm like, no, you're full of crap. It's like you might be able to you might be able to have it, I guess, not matter to you in the way that you, I guess, handle each individual, if that's the way they mean it to be. But you definitely do see color, and everyone definitely has that ability to prejudge people. You know what I mean? Like, in seeing color is
Of
not
course.
necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you can see color and say, man, you know, she's beautiful or he's beautiful or whatever. You appreciate the diversity. You see it and you appreciate it. You don't always have to see it and resent it, you know, but
No,
this is what,
exactly. That's the thing, is
yeah,
appreciation is big for, like, you brought up like how you were inspired by Tolkien's work. I know for me, like again, I'm not like a, you know, I didn't like deep dive into the study of Tolkien, but I do know his work, like the way he wrote was so, like his grammar was like so perfect that
yeah,
people like studied that, you know, to try to improve their own. Maybe that's what I should be doing. But the one scene in the Lord of the Rings where Frodo finally gets to Mordor and he's gonna drop the ring in, and you know, to let it go. Finally, he's been on this adventure that almost cost him his life, almost cost him his friend's life, and then he couldn't let it go. That just was, for me personally, that was so big for me because it just reminded us all, like, we go through this life journey and sometimes we have things in our lives that are bad for us, but it's so hard for us to let it go. You
oh
know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
relationships, addictions, anything like that. It's just like we can't just. And when we get to the point where like we got to let it go, everything's going to be better. We know it will be better if we let it go. We know, but you get to that point, you're just like, I just can't, man. I gotta hold on to it. And he was literally almost forced to let it go. And like you said, like it was so inspiring to fast forward today to where it's like I don't even know what we're watching like on TV with this Rings of Power. And I said it in my review today. It was like, if you think that people are review bombing this show because of someone's race, they need a wake up call, because the show is just bad. Like it's
Yeah.
like Kenobi was just a bad show. I mean,
Yes.
me and you
Objectively
can break
bad.
down like every episode and just be like, this is getting from bad to worse. And it's just a bad show. And so now it's just and exactly what you said. Same. It took Kenobi 2 episodes before they came out with well, everybody's racist if they don't like the show. Rings of
Yeah.
Power, 2 episodes. They did the same thing. What were your thoughts on this quote here from Elon Musk? He says, those who claim any criticism of Rings of Power means you're racist are outing themselves as closet racist. Do you have any
I
thoughts
believe that. I
on?
believe that 100%. Because in order to do that, you have to overlook, and this is what I was saying in my video, you have to overlook our brother, Fatal J. You have to overlook,
Yeah.
all of the diverse voices that are out there who are saying that they're not exactly satisfied with this show. You're willfully doing that. You're silencing these people. You're not giving them platforms. And you see what is Amazon doing? I think they're shutting down comments and things like
They
that
shut
because
down
it's going to,
reviews for like 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah.
Because they think it's just bad people doing the reviews.
Yeah. There's this tendency to want to dictate to black people, to anything other than white males, what you should be thinking, what's good for you. We're not even going to acknowledge you guys because we know that you just like what you're being given. And to me, that very concept is racist because no group of people just thinks alike. You can't be a monolith that way. But the insult continues. This is what you people like. This is what you people like. You people like this, right? You know, you might as well have put some, I don't know, fried chicken in the dwarf's hand or something like that. You know what I mean? You like this, don't you? But in that to me is what Elon Musk is referring to. These people are outing themselves as being racist because you're not even consulting with the larger audience before you go hiding behind something else. Like, who told you that black people were offended by the works of Tolkien? Who told you that? Like I said, I grew up with it. Me and my brother used to watch it. We had the audio, the little book, where you had to turn the page, you hear the little bell,
Yeah.
boom, you turn the page and everything, from the earliest. We loved it. So who told them that this is just something that we need? Like we're attracted to characters. That's what we're
Yeah.
attracted to. It's not always necessarily what's on the screen. It's like I said in my video, if you really want to see diversity, look at your audience. Don't look at what's on the
Yeah.
screen. Look at who's in your audience. Look at all of the diverse people who are clapping, who are crying, who are cheering. That's what the art attracts.
Yeah.
But these people got it all backwards, and they're doing it willfully. So yes, I agree with Elon Musk.
It's so bizarre because almost everyone's review, including mine, that doesn't even like the show, like the Deeza the Black Dwarf is like the best part of the show.
Yeah.
And we keep saying
Yeah.
that. We're like, you know what? She came out and said some weird stuff, but it's like an actor from Hollywood who would have guessed that they would say, bizarre, weird things coming from that place. But actually, her part and her role in it is actually like the best part. And this last episode didn't have her at all. But then it's like it's almost it's kind of bizarre because we also have the House of the Dragon, which started off with similar controversies of race swapping and everything like that. And but yet,
Yeah.
where's the backlash that
It's
Amazon is
because
projecting? Like, where is that backlash? Like, and that show is getting more views, especially here in the US. you know, it out. I think the first 2 episodes outperformed Rings of Power by almost 15 million views. So it's actually seeing a larger audience watching. So with a larger audience, you would think there'd be more criticism, but yet not so much. So why is there a difference? Why do
You
you
let the
think there's a
work speak
difference?
for itself. You let the work and the art speak for itself.
That's
You
it.
don't need someone to come running out before the thing even gets on TV, accusing people and insulting people and everything. All you're going to do is sour your audience that way. It's like this is what they call a breakthrough. You break through. And what are you breaking through? You're breaking through preconceived notions, dare I say, prejudices. You're breaking through these things with the quality of what you're doing. So people saw House of the Dragon and they were just like, man, this thing is great. We're liking the story. Every actor is bringing their A game. And you just, after that, you just sit back and say, well, you can only hate something so much before you're like, man, I really respect what they're doing.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I love it. Just like with Disa, like you were saying, people saw that she actually committed to the role. She was doing her thing. She looked believable. When you look at Riva, by comparison, she didn't even want to change her hair. She didn't want to commit to the role. She looked like she
Yeah.
had an attitude throughout the whole thing. So that's what it is, man. That's the difference that it makes.
And that's the thing too. It's like with Riva and everyone, the bot parade and everybody on social media that was like, yeah, we love Riva. She's the best. So then they're like, look at this. They actually love her. We were right. It was bad people that criticized. Here, buy her lightsaber. It was a huge failure. The
Right.
first huge failure for Star Wars, as
Yeah.
far as product goes. And it's just like, that's telling. Did they come out and they go, well, it's because of racist didn't buy it? It's like, why would they buy it anyway? It's like,
Right.
it's like they wouldn't buy it in the first place. But you came out and said this character is beloved, and the only people that don't like her are the bad people. And so they love her so much, like, we're gonna give you her limited edition lightsaber. And it failed
Bro,
beyond measure.
I even did a video promoting that lightsaber. I
Yeah.
was begging people in the run up to midnight. I was saying, please, please, let's support Riva. Let's do it for Riva. But, and I'm a major influencer. But even I, even I couldn't pull that
Couldn't
one
get
off,
the
man.
job done, man.
The
Couldn't
people
get
had
the
spoken.
yeah, definitely. This
Yeah,
in your latest video, which I also link to because it's fantastic.
thank
I was
you.
gonna make a video about all this stuff, and then I was like, let me just have Mark on. I was gonna play a clip from his video anyway, but you brought this up here, this wonderful tweet from the
Oh
Lord
my
of the
God.
Rings. Where it's like, we stand in solidarity with our cast. You are all welcome here. Basically, all this, it just talks about, hey, you can criticize, but we're gonna stand with our cast that have been going through a relentless racism, threats, harassment, abuse. We refuse to ignore it. And then they say here about J.R.R. Tolkien, who created a world, with so many people. So Black indigenous people of color belong in Middle Earth. That's their quote, not mine, and they're here to stay. Finally, they wanted to thank all the fans that were being harassed for sticking up for the show, and having their back. And our good friends over there from Star Wars decided they wanted to chime in because Amazon probably called Lucasfilm and they're like, hey, no one likes our show. What did you guys do when Kenobi was bombing? They're like, here you go, guys. This is what you do. They're like, from Middle Earth to a galaxy far, far away. You are all welcome here. You're welcome here, Mark.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't even tell you how that offends me. Like, why would you tell me that I'm welcome someplace that I was born and raised in? This has been my home. I grew up with this. No matter what some of you out there might be thinking, oh, he went and got a token. No, I've been in this for my entire life. Okay, so when I see something like this, I'm like, who are you talking to? I was saying this in my video. Who
Yeah.
You're gonna have to define for me who is you are all welcome here. Who's you all? Who are you welcoming? Because right now I am not feeling welcome. My
Yeah.
son stopped watching Star Wars as a child because he stopped feeling welcome. Like I said, we've always been challenged as human beings with
Sure.
our acceptance and respect of one another. But I think that we've been moving in a pretty good direction. You know, and keep in mind, I say this, you know, also as a Black man, you know, some of you might have noticed, you know, I think that, you know, it's been a positive progression, especially in our pop culture and our fandom. We've seen Black actors before in prominent roles. You know, we're getting there. We've been accepting and respectful of that in large part. But these people have chosen to highlight racists. And of course, there are going to be racist people out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, that you can't deny that. But why would you sour the whole experience over some knuckleheads? Especially when you have a fan base that's telling you this isn't necessarily satisfactory to us. You know,
Yeah.
there's something going on with Rings of Power. You know, it's not true to the works of Tolkien and stuff, but they leapfrog right over that, and they want to hide behind me as a Black
Yeah.
person. You know, and I find that to be despicable, absolutely despicable. People wonder why I'm on panels. You know, Jay invited me on and everything like that. No, it's not to check a box. It's not to be a token. It's because Jay has the respect of like knowing that this is not how it is. You know, those people want to talk for us. You know, within this fandom, we talk together, we communicate. That's the difference.
Absolutely. And they're killing
Yeah.
off creativity like it's left and right. Just like that quick video we saw earlier where the guy's like, Tolkien's is ours now. We'll do
Yeah.
whatever we want with it. And it's like, because we're not creative enough to create great stories for great actors, no matter what race they are, because we would rather just steal something and just spin it all around. And if you don't like it, you're the problem.
Yeah.
It's
You
it's
realize,
a
Jay, that
terrible thing.
that mentality destroys art. It destroys creativity.
Yeah.
Think about your favorite art museum. You know, you go into the art museum and you look at the works of art, and they're beautiful and they're deep and they're profound. And you're thinking because they were in the 18th century or something like that, because of the attitudes of that day, you have the right to now deface that art. You know, like
It's
I'm going to
mine
make it
now.
be what I want it to be. It's mine now. You know, it's like I don't want those thoughts to be with me today as I am. You know, instead of learning from the past, as they say people can do, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it.
Doomed to
They
repeat
want to
it.
destroy the past. And what is the future of destroying the past? What is the future of forgetting the past? You will be doomed to repeat that past. So you let the art speak for itself. You challenge your audience. And if you are, you know, if you do believe in humanity and things like that, and it's been proven, you know, throughout history, most people, when they get challenged this way, they do end up with an appreciation, you know, because our common denominator is our humanity. You know, it can be our artistic expression and things like that. And there will be an appreciation for that. If it's good, if it's hardworking, it's respectable. And I think more people rise to that than they do somebody wagging a finger at you, calling you all types of names like racist and misogynist. You're just insulting people, and there's no future in that.
Well said. You can check out Mark with the C in the pinned comment below of this video. Thank you for joining me yet again. Next time
Thank
we're
you,
gonna
brother.
talk about like food and like we'll do something. We
I
gotta do
like
something
food.
fun. I do too, man. We gotta talk about something fun. This is till these people learn something. Anyway, okay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And we almost forgot that part. Like this video if you like it. How's it go? Subscribe if you're new here. I don't know, man. Such a
You know
crazy
what to
time
do.
we live in. Yeah, you know what to do. We'll